Dr. Paul Lombardi is Associate Professor of Music Theory and Composition at the University of South Dakota and the composer of Through Tunnels of Words, a setting of 43 miniature songs of poems by the Romanian mathematician Florentin Smarandache. During 2023, soprano Katherine Price and I recorded the complete song cycle at Colton Recital Hall at the University of South Dakota. You can listen to the complete recording following the link in the description box below.
I did my PhD at University of Oregon, and while I was there, I was friends with a pianist named Genevieve Mason, and she actually played in the reading of my piano concerto. I left Oregon and went to New Mexico for 7 years, and I was in a new relationship with Katherine Price, who went to Oregon to go get her master's in vocal performance. So I followed her out there. I was still employed for the University of New Mexico. Katherine and Genevieve became friends and became collaborating musically together. And we used to hang out and do Schubertiades at Genevieve's house. And we discovered that their birthdays were on the same day. And we were going to have a Schubertiade on their birthdays. And I wanted to compose them a piece for their birthday, something short that they could learn in one day. And I searched the internet for one-line poems, and I encountered the long list of Florentin Smarandache's book, Through Tunnels of Words. I contacted him to get permission, and it turns out he's a professor at a satellite campus of where I was employed at the time, at the University of New Mexico. And he gave me permission, and I wrote one song. I wrote the first song. And I wanted it to be based on some kind of a geometric thing. So I searched hard and came up with an arrangement of pitch classes that I could arrange into an antiprism, which is the subtitle of the first one. And it's composed through the surfaces and slices of the antiprisms, where the chords and the melodies come from. And then that was 2011. And then I got the job at the University of South Dakota in 2012, and we came out here. And I wanted to expand upon this project. And I picked a selection of them that I thought went well together, ones that I liked. And so I did the set, and I wanted it to have an arch and make sense as a whole composition, not as just individual songs. I definitely arranged them so they would pass through different themes. And I wouldn't say they're necessarily quantized, like one theme stops and the new theme begins. They kind of transition through multiple poems. beginning with the celestial, and then the earthly, and then love. And then I think it goes to inebriation. Education in there, yeah. And then delusion, and then death. And then the last one I kind of think of as an afterthought.
We are crossing daily through
Dr. Lombardi has an analytical approach to life and the world. To every song of Through Tunnels of Words, he adds a subtitle, referring to either a geometrical shape or a mathematical concept.
I very much think about music as an architecture of shapes and designs, of sounds, and it's nice for me to have a visual representation of it sometimes. So those subtitles are the objects that served as either the inspiration or the pre-composition. Some of them are very simple, like the one that's subtitled rectangular is just made from 4 triads, because a rectangle has 4 sides. There's an augmented triad, a major triad, a minor triad, and a diminished triad. That's very quite simple. And the one that's subtitled vertex almost has a single pitch through almost the whole thing. And that's the vertex, that's the point. And then some of them are way more elaborate and convoluted. The one that's subtitled tesseract, it's very complicated, the way the relationships of those notes happen in the thing. As you go through the song cycle, some of the subtitles are just sporadically written throughout the set, because I wrote all the songs. I didn't write the songs in order. I wrote a song that I thought I could write in a couple days, or 2 or 3 days at a time, and then I would write one and going on to the next. So I didn't compose them in order. But when I started getting it more organized and making more progress, you can see that there's a group of polygons that increasingly have more sides to them. And then when you get to all the ones with the polyhedrons get more and more complex as you go through it. And so there was some ordering of that nature too. It's really fun to like have an idea and to explore it, and then have the skill and technique to be able to implement it. It's really like a puzzle.
Irrational pains are slapping my
The ideas are analytical, but the music is beautiful too. And I like to think of it that a composer like Brahms was probably thought very analytically as well, because I look at Brahms's music, it is never spontaneous. It is always extremely thought out very well. And so I think that Brahms was just using triads and 7th chords and tonality, tonic dominant relationships, where I just create my other stuff that I use, and I do the kind of the same things he does, just in a different style.
The deep is bathing in the
What if you shine white light at a prism, it fractures the colors into a rainbow. And so the idea behind that is that A flat is a ray of white light, and then it's fractured into a big chord in both the voice and piano. And so that's why that's one that's not so literal. It's where the concept of a prism served as an inspiration for it.
The deserts are exhausting themselves on the roads with the smell of rottenness, of rottenness, of rottenness.
Well, we know what math proofs are. A proof by exhaustion is just you come up with every possible way, combination or permutation to solve the proof. And so I use those four notes, and I use every permutation of them, every way that you could order those. And then those notes were chosen because it's a harmony I like. And I think something that a lot of people may not hear or be aware of, I do the same thing with rhythm and articulation and dynamics. I'll move between them like they're a spectrum that they correspond to the harmonies.
All flowers are flooding the garden with longing and
The set is very well written and idiomatic for the piano, exploring a wide range of textures, colors, and techniques. The piano is an indispensable collaborator to the voice, and the two of them function together as a duet.
I started playing music when I was 15. I was starting play trumpet and band. And then around when I was 15 or 16, I started playing piano. And I excelled pretty quickly at the piano. I was able to learn an entire Beethoven sonata my first year of playing. And so now piano's my main instrument. It's just kind of, I guess I developed a lot of that as I was composing. And I feel that like every musician, whether you're a composer or a pianist or not, should spend some time improvising and just being musical. And so I sit down at the piano and I just try to conceive of things that fit the hands well, and figurations and stuff. And I also try to make it interesting, but at the same time, I try to err on the side of caution and not to make it too difficult on that.